Bill Seidman accomplished much in his life. He earned a Bronze Star during World War II. He founded businesses in West Michigan. Seidman was a leader who worked with leaders, including governors and presidents.
Today, the CNBC family lost one of our own, former FDIC Chairman William Seidman, who most recently served as the chief commentator for CNBC.
His death rocked the financial world, where he had such an impact.
I think everybody loved Bill because you knew you had a person of tremendous warmth, good feeling, smart, really trying to serve his country.
And it rocked his friends and colleagues in his longtime home of West Michigan.
Friends thought he was indestructible. What is indestructible is the long legacy he leaves behind.
He was certainly a man who accomplished an awful lot throughout his life. He was one of the original founders of Grand Valley State University.
Just a few months before he died, Bill shared his story of his role in founding Grand Valley State University, something he said is one of his crowning achievements.
We didn't have a public four-year college in our town, and I read a report by Russell which said that because of that, the youth in our area were going to college at a lower rate than almost any place in the state. So I said, this is not good for the city, it's not good for the economy, it's not good for the young people, so I think I'll see if I can do something about it. I took action. I asked about 10 people to lunch on Friday at the Pantland Hotel, as it was then, now the Amway. And when I got them all together, I said, I know most of us are not used to having a drink at lunch, but I'd like you all to have a drink on me, because then I want to talk to you about something. And then I said, you know, I think this city is one of the most wonderful cities that I've been in, and I've been in quite a few, but it really lacks something, and that is public higher education. And I think we all ought to get together and see if we can bring it to Grand Rapids. And then we started having meetings with all kinds of organizations. Anybody would listen to us, and I would play High Hopes, you know, the song High Hopes, the ant moving a rubber tree plant. And then we would tell them about this and ask them for their support. So we entertained people at our house, usually a couple times a week. To start with, we didn't ask anybody for money. We just asked them for their support, particularly with the legislature and with the governor. And we had to convince them that this was going to be a great thing for the community, and particularly that it was going to be very good for the economy of the community as well as for the young people. But by and large, it was terrific support by the business community and the business leaders. And within about 18 months, we had built up enough support to go down to Lansing and start asking for a charter. And then we had to take a bill and get it through the committees. And in the House, I think it was, we got through by one vote. We were diligent, we really worked at it. And then eventually, the state, you said, you can have a charter if you raise $1 million to give to the state and buy a campus for the university. Then we got into fundraising. I mean, we were not only raising money, but it was on a promise. It was clearly not something we could show them in bricks and mortar, but we got terrific support from the banks, from the big industries like Steelcase and others. We got labor unions supported us, and we had sell a brick, and we sold a brick to each citizen who would give us $1, and we finally got up to $1 million. But it wasn't easy. It took a lot of people, a lot of work to get there.
I officially dedicate and break the ground for the construction of the Grand Valley State College.
It was there because the community had supported it. A lot of people had their money in it, and therefore it got started with far greater community input and support than I think most institutions do, which don't start with the community movement. I believed that it would become a major university. 25,000 was on the top side. I feel wonderful about it. I've had a great life. I've worked for 3 presidents of the United States. I've been in major business. There's nothing that I've done in life that gives me the satisfaction of seeing how Grand Valley State University is delivering on its promise to the Western Michigan area.
Grand Valley State University is delivering on its promise to West Michigan and students who come from all over the world.
I say it's the best decision I made in my life thus far. I love it here.
Top-notch students are flocking to Grand Valley State University in record numbers. Total enrollment is the highest ever, with more than 24,000 students. And it's obvious why. All that a liberal education has to offer in new and updated facilities, and a vibrant campus life. Those who know higher education are validating the students' decision to become Lakers. Listen to the recognition for Grand Valley. U.S. News & World Report ranked Grand Valley the top up-and-coming institution in the Midwest, and for the 4th year in a row selected Grand Valley as one of America's best colleges. For the 14th straight year, a research firm named Grand Valley one of America's 100 best college buys. The Princeton Review ranked the Seidman College of Business as one of the tops in the nation and gave the university its highest green rating among Michigan's colleges and universities. And it certainly helps to have the top program in Division II athletics. Grand Valley just won its 6th Directors' Cup.
And I'm competing with NYU graduates and Harvard graduates, and you know, the girl that actually works up under me now graduated from Princeton, and I think that speaks volumes.
When I think of Grand Valley, I think of it has built in me a foundation for who I am. It built in me leadership, which the skills that I learned then while I was walking around on campus and participating in organizations has led to the ability to go into business on my own.
Grand Valley State University. A grand value, a grand success.